We're sorry to start at this time. We wanted to start later than this time. So unfortunately, you are still safe. I welcome you on this press conference that we're going to be dealing with, particularly with the event that is coming on Sunday. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce yourselves. Comrade Mpofu, who has been so actively involved in the issues that affected us from that time to date. Comrade Dali, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And I also welcome all of you, comrades. We've got the branch leadership from Lonmin. You are welcome, comrades. In the same breath, I also want to introduce the president, who will come to the podium and probably address us.
Good morning once more, and we are thankful of being present here. As you know, yesterday you were with us yesterday in another press conference. The fight for justice for Marikana massacre continues. On the 16th August 2012, the police, with the active help of Lonmin management, government ministers, and politically connected business people, as well as officials of the National Union of Mine Workers, massacred 34 mine workers and severely injured hundreds other mine workers. Many were executed as they lay injured. This action was a clear position of the state that it was anti-worker progress and is committed to protect the monopoly capital with these yellow unions in the expense of the working class. The Commission of Inquiry appointed by Honorable President J. Zuma and chaired by retired Judge Falam to investigate why this massacre took place and who was to blame, effectively cleared the police, the Lonmin bosses, government ministers, and of course top politicians like the Deputy State President, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. In our view, the Judge Falam's report was a disgrace. It was a blood wash. The mine workers that fought a heroic struggle were the ones blamed for causing the massacre. Even worse, no compensation is being provided to the victims of their families. Families have lost their breadwinners and are now condemned to live in destitute. In short, the Falam Commission has robbed mine workers of justice. As AMCO, we remain committed to fight for justice for the mine workers who were killed and injured at Marikana. The struggle for the truth will be a long one, but we are standing with our members, the widows and the other families members, for as long as it takes. This search for justice begins with AMCO supported civil claims against Minister of Police lodged by the widows and the families of those killed and maimed. We demand that the government desist from contesting these claims, but rather speedily provide compensation to the victims of families. We are currently seeking legal advice to have the outcomes of the commission reviewed and, if deemed necessary, to support an independent inquiry. AMCO is undertaking a major fundraising campaign to build houses for the widows. Soon we will be undertaking international speaking tours to share with our brothers and sisters across the world the suffering we have had endured in the struggle for justice for Marikana. AMCO stands with the comrades of our fallen heroes who continue to struggle for a living wage of 12,500. Just last week, AMCO members rejected the crumbs being offered by the Chamber of Mine in the gold negotiations. They are clear they are fighting for 12,500, partly out of the respect of their fallen brothers and partly because anything less condemns them to the lives of misery. It is tragic that for those that survived the bullets of Marikana, which we called the London massacre, they are now faced being fired as part of the retrenchment wave that is gripping many sectors of our economy, with mining at the center. With unemployment standing at over 40%, the planned retrenchment kill off hope and a possibility of a life of dignity as merciless as a R1 bullet. As AMCO, we reject these plans. We are preparing all our members for this mother of all struggles. As AMCO, we believe that the Longmin massacre, which is better known as Marikana massacre, signaled the end of the dream of the new South Africa, of the rainbow nation, of the negotiated settlement. Instead, 20 years of the new democracy has seen the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Unemployment rose more than doubling since the end of apartheid, and more than half of the population live in extremely poverty, robbing them of the dignity and life. Longmin massacre has shown that for the vast majority, life is as wretched as it was under apartheid. Longmin massacre showed that black workers are no longer prepared to take this situation. They are prepared to stand up and fight for better life for all. While other trade unions are busy fighting succession battle in the political space to be a future government officials, AMCO will always be committed to the struggle of transforming the lives of the working class and its communities at large. AMCO will remain a progressive voice of the oppressed. To commemorate our fallen heroes is by advancing the struggle for a living wage and to fight the power of the transnational cooperation impunity. We will be holding the third commemoration rally at Kopi on Sunday, 16 August 2015 at 9 a.m. We will appeal to all South Africans to join us in commemoration of our fallen heroes. We will also appeal to all South Africans to pledge towards the AMCO Marikana Massacre Trust Fund. I thank you all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think we will take questions, but before that, we are now going to be listening to another presentation, which will be specifically dealing with the trust issues. So I will call Comrade to come forward.
As the President has alluded to the fact that they have started a trust fund as AMCO, we saw a need to engage the media and the stakeholders at large and the general public so that you are aware of this good initiative. One of the most important things that the President is so passionate about is the building of houses of the widows, is the education of these youngsters, that some of them, 18 of them, are in some boarding school in Port Edward. together there. So what we're going to show you, what we're going to tell you today, because we're struggling with the technicalities and the overhead projector for today, we're going to plead with you to join AMCO on this. AMCO and its stakeholders, be it the lawyers that are representing the injured, the widows at Marikana, to help these families on a journey of giving them dignity, of giving them education. The President is very much passionate about taking the children to school, because some of these youngsters don't need to be underground in the mine, but they need to be in a university. The President has been on record to say there is a 23-year-old who lost the legs at Sibanye or in Carltonville. But if you can help these children of these widows or of these miners who lost their life in a trade on that tragic day, to give them a better education, to break the cycle of my father was a miner, I will go and dig as well, to take them to school. I think, ladies and gentlemen, this initiative by the union, that is a non-profit organization, a union that doesn't have the funds to help. We ask you to join us in terms of helping these youngsters go to a better school, so that they cannot go through the same similar situation where their fathers went through. We have a situation whereby their mothers are in the same place. So the President and the stakeholders are trying so hard that these children don't go back to the mines, but they get a better education. Because of technical issues, what we're going to do is we're going to email this presentation to the stakeholders so that you can get it on email, because it has the background, it has some footage, and it has all the details. But in closing, I just want to say, please join AMCO, join the lawyers from Marikana to through this journey that we don't know where will it end. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think somebody is sabotaging us this morning in terms of technology. We are not all technologically challenged, but there's a specific trend that we see. Okay, now it's question and answers time.
Dean Minister from Power FM. I remember in previous years you opened up the invitation to everybody to attend, including the NUM government. Is that the same this year? And also, has any, I know that Judge Mfalem recommended that there be some sort of physical commemoration at the Kopi. Has anything like that been established yet? Thank you.
London has undertaken to seek the financial needs concerning the education of Marikana victims. Haven't they done so? Are you cooperating with them or talk to them about this?
Thank you. All right, I'll just deal with the first question. I think firstly is just to explain our involvement here. As Mr. Mpatlala just said, I have to extend an apology for Bishop Sioka, who is caught up in church matters but will be with us on Sunday. And as you know, that the president of AMCO, the bishop, and myself have been tasked to assist in coordinating the event specifically. Yes, nothing has changed in terms of the invitation. This, as we have done in the past two commemorations, this is effectively the invitation. So there's no specific organization that gets a written invitation. And this is a decision that was taken at the very first event by the workers to say that this was a national tragedy, and therefore, all South Africans who wish to come should come. The only appeal we make is because sometimes there's a stampede of organizations there, is that organizations should indicate through AMCU those that are going to attend so that we can make the necessary arrangements, maybe for their leadership to be taken care of and that kind of thing. But apart from that, we deliberately do not issue written invitations, because if you do that, let's say to churches, invariably you forget one church and then they say they're excluded, or political organizations. You send written invitations, you forget someone, they say then they've been excluded. And the workers have made it very clear that this is a national event for all South Africans. In our tradition, if you are coming to a bereavement or something of that sort, you don't get an invitation. You go if you feel that your heart says that you should be there. So yeah, so that's the pattern is the same as the previous years. And those people who are there, if they can give us a forewarning, we will accommodate them, and we will also make the same appeal to them to assist the trust fund that AMCU has set up, so that they can, in that way, be assisting the victims. I think that covers the issue of invitation.
I should have said the father of all struggle. The mother of all struggle. I think it's quite apparent to everyone that in South Africa we had different form of the struggle. We had a political struggle, of which is the one that we suggest we won in 1994. The struggle that we are in now is the struggle of economic emancipation that we are in, which is tend to be denied or underestimated or undermined by these job losses. So therefore we are to take upon ourselves to see to it that how do we confront this monopoly capital that still continue in the 21st century to maximize its profit in the expense of the nation. So, I think that answered it. Thank you. Any other question?
There's a question about education.
Can you also repeat your question, please?
London publicly undertook to see to the needs of the children's education. Haven't they done so? Are you cooperating with them? Or do you ask this money in addition to that? Or is it post-schooling education?
Currently, the recent tour that was undertaken by Comrade Manzini as his team, the one who was introducing the campaign for donations for the trust, they've been to areas in Eastern Cape. I think the report that we received from them, it was disappointing, really disappointing. The school in which those employees' children who happen to be the victim of the massacre, the schools that are subjected into, it's appalling. I think many of us thought that these children, they've been offered a better opportunity in the Model C school, so to say. It's not like that. In this winter that we are recovering from, some of them, they had no proper winter clothes. And such things was even hijacked by Lonmin after they heard that we've sent the team to investigate. So Lonmin has to rush in order to bar us not to enter and to interview those children. So I think it was mainly a PR exercise until such time AMCU took an initiative to send a team from our office to go and check the well-being of those children that have been purported, that are being supported by Lonmin. So it's still a long journey. So if Lon Min was doing a good thing, why should have ran and tried and stopped our team not to interview the children, of those workers, if they were doing a good thing? It was just a PR exercise. So this trust that has been opened by AMCO, it seeks to address, because if you take it further, one would say their parents were supposed to be killed until they get a better education, which is still gonna hurt them in their entire life, that whatever degree that they will be getting after their schooling or tertiary level, it was because of their fathers has to lay down their lives. And as we see even today, the workers are not being paid a living wage to afford their children to be taken into tertiary level.
I think that there was a question that wasn't answered about the site, the actual site, according to the recommendations. What are the plans? Is there anything in terms of like a memorial or statue?
I think if one will expect Lon Min or government to do something, I think we'll be fooling ourselves. This is not of the interest of the government or Lon Min, because it's just an embarrassment to them. So therefore, this initiative has to be taken up by AMCO and those good Samaritan, the South African public, to assist us and also to engage with the local authorities, the local chief, maybe to donate that piece of land as a heritage site for these workers who were killed. But if we are going to expect the government that will do anything for us, I think we'll be betraying this historic event. Hello.
Thanks. If you can just give some more details about this fund, how much are you hoping to raise, where are you going to be going on your speaking tour, and then also if you can just comment briefly on the police commissioners making that U-turn and saying that actually they don't come out in public support for the Piana. Thank you.
I think, as you know, that if you want to establish such a site, it needs a lot of money. We don't have a figure. We still have to get the architect to go on site and do the draft and make proposals, and also bringing forth our proposal, how the site should look like, what should be established, what should be built in that site. So we don't have a mark until such time we do a due diligence study through the architect, then we'll be in the position to know how much that will be needed in order to build that site. And those... yes,
almost, I think, we won't get that architect who, the one who made the crawl to cost about 5 million. So it will be much less than...
Did you catch that one? It will be less than the crawl. Yes. Thank you, comrades. And for the people whom we'll be talking to the friends of the struggle across the globe. We already started in Switzerland and in some Germany. So therefore, there are people who are willing to engage AMCO. But I'm not in liberty to tell you the names of those, but I'll just mention the country. Any answer that I haven't, any question that I haven't answered?
And then on Pierre's.
Pierre, what is my take on
the police provincial commissioners apologizing for their public statement and their support?
I think one cannot much have reaction on those things because our position is quite clear in terms of the status of policing in South Africa, and especially with Pierre herself as a national commission. You remember the question that you previously asked me whether Pierre was fit to be in the office. I said to you, the first day she was appointed, she was not fit. So there's nothing new in the actual fact. Nothing amazing, nothing drastic. Amazing. Then, if there is no other further question, then I will
See you on Sunday.
see you on Sunday. You are all welcome, and I believe that also Media House will make some pledges towards the trust. I'm looking forward to hear those thousands and millions that you will be pledging. And also, we are honored to have a U.S. consulate among us. So I think also they will be writing some dollars towards the trust. Thank you very much. God bless you.